The moderate human consumes half a mug or further of sugar every day, and checks assert eating lower sugar makes you crave it more. Some people indeed enunciate. It gives them pull-out symptoms. So what exactly happens to your brain and body when you try to quit sugar after 24 hours of no refined sugar, and you start to lose water cargo? Our body regulates our race sugar situations through the pancreas. The pancreas releases two hormones, insulin and glucagon. When race sugar gets too high, the pancreas releases insulin, and when it gets too low, the pancreas releases glucagon in the first 24 hours of no sugar race. Sugar situations drop, and the pancreas releases glucagon, which breaks down glycogen, the storehouse of sugars in our body, to produce the dynamism you need. The thing is, glycogen is bound to 3 grams of water, so the breakdown of glycogen for dynamism is responsible for the original loss of water cargo. In the first 24 hours of not eating sugar on day 2 is when you start to feel fatigued and crave sugar, as the body constantly needs to produce new sources of dynamism. Gluconionate genesis is actuated, which is the transformation of proteins to sugars in the body as well. Superfluity will be broken up down into ketones to produce dynamism. This can make you feel sick, get headaches, and indeed have sugar jones, but there is not enough mortal inquiries to understand why this occurs. Beast inquiries have shown off that in stoolies, neurochemical pathways causing dopamine release are actuated when the stoolies consume sugar, and in some cases this can be more potent than cocaine in stoolies. This is why you may have discerned pop wisdom composition captions like sugar, more addicting than cocaine. The argument for this is that sugar activates dopamine release. This creates a positive underpinning around wanting to spark and can produce jones. But to be clear, there's no substantiation that inhuman sugar can be as addicting as medicines like cocaine. On day 3 is when you get a metallic taste in your mouth, and your breather starts to reek. The breakdown of redundancy into ketones due to the lack of sugar input creates the release of acetone in your body, which when breathed out smells like nail accomplishment way over or rotting conclusion. Some inquiries have indeed shown off that if you measure acetone in your breather, it can prognosticate the position of ketones in your race. This right breather can survive a many days to a many weeks. But this is grounded on zero sugar. We are talking, not indeed fates in your diet, unlike other corridor of the videotape, where we are substantially fastening on what happens when you slash out appended or meliorated sugars day 5 to 10 of not eating appended sugar, and your taste kids have officially changed to be more sensitive to sugar. One study had people do a water presto for 5 to 14 days, and set up that the threshold to descry sweet air was important, lesser adding perceptivity to the taste of sugar. This is not that astounding because people who consume a lot of sugar really drop their perceptivity to that sweet air and feel like they need to append further sugar to their food or potables in order to feel the sweet air again after 6 weeks of no sugar. And you may also note your bowel motions are getting more regular with lower bloating or cramps. IBS affects nearly 10 to 20% of the population in North America. IBS is a group of symptoms that people witness. It's their entire life, similar as diarrhea, constipation, cramps, and bloating. And Croker's recommend a low FODMAP diet. FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, which are enough important diets with lower refined sugar, and further natural sugars. Reducing refined sugars can assuage IBS, and has been shown off to ameliorate symptoms within 6 weeks. After 10 weeks of eating no sugar, you might start to note that your face is appearing a lot healthier. That's because sugar can beget acne lesions within 1 week of high input. Clinical trials have shown off that after 10 weeks of low-sugar diets, acne lesions have significantly downgraded after one time with no fresh sugar input. You will also know bettered rest. A study appearing at 53000 postmenopausal women showed off that 3 times of low sugar input was identified with downgraded wakefulness. Although the sequel of sugar on sleep is a little polemical, as we do not actually see if it has an inhospitable jolt on diurnal sleep. In fact, some inquiries have indeed set up that sleep is bettered with high sugar input before PAD after 1 to 5 times of no appended sugar input. Your threat of high race pressure, heart complaint type 2, diabetes, and rotundity is downgraded. High sugar input is associated with a laundry list of other conditions involving diseases, substantially due to its association with rotundity.